All right. So welcome to week 8. We're just gonna go over some walk cycles. Just gonna do a little workshop. In addition to actually going ahead and you know looking through all the content for week 8. And yes, that's a big bright switch of light right there. Um, yeah, there's a lot here, right? We have the I do want everybody to at least just do a little bit more in Premiere Pro or After Effects or the place of your choosing for video editing. Watch all these videos below. Obviously, this isn't graded, so it's okay. I'm not going to go over it. It's very casual. But do post it in that discussion forum on Discord. Um, the main things to do, watch this demo that you're watching right now. Also, watch all of these videos. These kind of go over, this in particular goes over the 12 principles of animation in a very succinct and good manner, right? Not too ridiculous in regards to its time and all that it would take to watch. So do use those videos to your advantage. This is all about organizing your project. Definitely a major factor in video editing and animation, or just working on teams in general. Always good to have some kind of directory. There's a little bit here on cinemagraphs, which are pretty cool. These are it's just a GIF basically that you can create with certain software such as Premiere Pro or After Effects or perhaps some in this link, right? Suffice to say, it is indeed a GIF or GIF, as you want to call it. But the main thing, the main takeaway is the loops themselves, and this relates to the walk cycles we'll be creating. You won't have to worry too much about this because Unity is going to end up taking on board some of the looping mechanisms through the animator, through the animation, etc. We'll get more into that as we go. May even touch base on that here in this video. So just keep that in mind. Here is the link to the 12 Principles of Animation slide deck. There's a lot in here. Do be aware of that. I expect you to kind of take this with you and digest it as you go through spring break. Because I won't be assigning too much more than that sound or than the animatic, right? By now, I think it's pretty easy to make that animatic. It doesn't take long. So the sound more of the animatic, wherever you're at, those two assignments, right? One being a project, one being more of an exercise or challenge. Do keep in mind that you could take your time with this week 8 module. You can kind of span it out throughout the 2 weeks, or just get it all done before break. Right? It's optional spread out of things to do. Walk cycles. Another link, another slide deck to go through. There are many videos in both of these. Well, mainly this one. But do keep that in mind. This is a supplemental walk cycle video link. So when you do have a sort of GIF or you have a set of or sequence of images that you'd like to take on and make a sprite out of for Unity in particular, this is going to help you get there. So keep that in mind. Additionally, as we move along here, I want to switch pace and go into Animate. I think we're pretty much all set here. Not too concerned. I'll minimize this. Let's just, I just made this really quick character. I did not go too in depth with the making of this character. It took me about 5 or 10 minutes. But I did make a couple layers. One being for a leg, one being for, whoops, just the body itself, right? So leg and body. And I'll just be doing a little bit of maneuvering with these legs so that they actually do form some kind of a walk cycle that we can then loop and then we can animate further if we wanted to. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm not gonna like get into like his nose or their nose jiggling around or their arm waving in the air, whatever. But I do want to get into the brief and very precise skills that you need. So, I guess they're not that brief, but they are precise. I'm actually going to move this leg above this layer. Why is that? That is because that leg has to traverse over the top of this leg. So this one has to go over that one. Makes it a wee bit easier. Yeah, there we go. And we can now see that little indent of the muscle there. So first things first, with walk cycles, the main thing you want to do is you want to be sure to actually use a character warp of some kind. In this case, with Animate, we have asset warp. Right over there, yonder there. Now, keep in mind in Photoshop, it's actually called Puppet Warp tool. It's a little bit sketchier in Photoshop. It's not as clean. It's not as nice, but it's pretty good. I can't lie. I don't mind Photoshop. I actually enjoy animating with Photoshop, but Adobe Animate is a little bit more industry standard. That's why I teach it. That's why I get into it. That's why I try to be a proponent for it. I'm just going to do a sort of every other frame animation. So we'll do one frame, we'll skip a frame and go up. So right here, I just pressed F5 a couple times just to create those sort of blank spaces that we can now put keys in. Why don't we start by moving the legs one piece at a time here. I want to move this top layer first. Why not? There we are. We'll just let that sort of compute once I click it. Boop. Let it do its thing for a second here. Actually, you know what? I have to go back to the first frame. Excuse me. There we go. Cool. That should work. Now, where am I? I also want to fit this to show frame, just so it's a little bit bigger for everyone. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing here. That's all right. I can do a little warpies on this one. There we go. So it's all right. I don't mind starting out like that. So yeah, we'll just start with this layer below. That's fine. Not a big deal. And we're just making bones, right? That's the beauty of all this. We're just making bones. I do want to... I'm going to put one right there. Then I'm not going to worry about the arm portion. It's not too much of a concern on that. I will go here though with that leg. And just to the top of the head there. I think that'll be nice. And I'll just press enter. There we go. Press enter. And here we are, right? There we go. Nice, it's still there. That's good. It means when I come over here to then move things, I want this leg to, well, first and foremost, I want to get the actual ruler out. Why is that? Because I need something for this little whippersnapper to actually walk on, and he's gonna have a kind of nice little bump, 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 you know, like a little Willy Wonka type thing going on. So he's gonna be kind of hop, hop. So I have to draw it out like that. If that's the case, I am going to lower the body more than just rotate that. And I'm going to actually lower the body in such a way, hold on. So, boop, boop. Suppose I could lower everything. I don't want it to be too drastic. Let me just undo some stuff here. I gotta get back on track. And a little bit fuzzy on that. There we go, okay. Let's just start by stretching him out. So we'll just, and notice that this here, this layer one below, it's a little bit, not the, this one actually, not exactly lined up, right? That's okay. It's just because we haven't actually done a warp with it yet, and also the resolution on this guy is 512 by 512, so do keep that in mind. Why not just go for it though, right? Let's actually get some stuff going here. Oh, do I have it locked? Yes, I do. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And we're gonna press enter. Whoops. Nice. Cool. Cool. I want to move my little guy over a little. Whoops. Nope, not like that. I want to move him over like this, so he's a little bit cleaner. Cool. I like where that's sitting there. We'll start there. He's gonna hop up, and I'm gonna do the more of a simple type of thing, right? I'm just gonna use the transforms themselves first. Transform meaning the actual object. So I'll actually just drag it down to where I want. Might even do a little rotation here. Whoops. Oh boy. There we go. So this is our transform tool. This is selection tool, which still works for moving, but not necessarily for rotating. Now, don't worry about this other leg yet, right? And keep in mind, this is literally going to be the same as if you were making a walk cycle for a character, right? Like I'm pointing out things that you're going to have to be looking for. So don't worry about this yet, this leg that's kind of, over the top. And if you want, go ahead and, I don't know, get rid of it if you want. I don't know. That's perfectly fine. All I did was bring down my little guy here just a little bit, and now I'm going to do the same with the leg, but for the leg I'm going to rotate it just a little bit up like that. Also just place it here. Still on that line, right? We're kind of pushing, we're going to be pushing away, right? With that foot. So keep that in mind, and you want that equidistance there. I might even kick it back up a little bit further. So let's make 2 more. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's finish these off. So let's go back to layer 1 here. Go back to our warp tool. Now we can kind of see things a little bit better with the onion skin on. That's what I pressed over here. That's your onion skin, which gives you the layer 2 or 3 previous frames before. You can actually adjust how much you get by simply right-clicking, going to advanced settings, or you can just select the range right here, right along the timeline, and it'll just be based off of that, which is where I'm at now. And that's perfectly acceptable. So just keep that like so. Now, one thing I'm going to want to do, I'm going to want to kind of rotate this little guy here, this foot, but which means I may actually have to, and I made the mistake of creating a kind of root here, but that's all right. It's not the biggest deal in the world. If I wanted to, I could just do that and then press enter, and I'm pleased with that. Right now, I can actually take that foot instead of trying to finagle with trying to find a way to rotate it. We can literally just start to bring it down. There we go. I had a little bit of a schism that occurred there. I don't know if you saw that. That was interesting. I'm not gonna be as, yeah, there's that schism again. Ha! That's funny. Okay, there we go. I'm not gonna bring it down as much as I really probably should, but oh my, yeah. See, that's a problem. It's okay. I can push this out. Now. Let's just do this. So we could do something where we kind of make it. I want to edit the rig, but yeah. So what I do is I just right click that. So theoretically, probably be good if this was more over here. This was more over here. This was more over here. And this was oops. More for the hip here. That needs to come up. Okay. More for the hip there. Neck area there. This guy here. Here. This is actually good that you're seeing this because I would not have otherwise actually gone over this. Okay, so I'm actually going to bring that up to the top just like it was before, and this might not be good. We're gonna go for it. Press enter. Go back, and yeah, okay, there we go. We're good. I'm pretty pleased with that. We can still move the foot as we want. This time we're just a little bit more accurate with how we're going about this, which is nice. And remember from the week 8 lectures of Principles of Animation, perhaps there's some arcs involved, right? So if you have an outside edge over here, it might be wise to bring this foot in a little bit. Which also means that this should be going down, which it is, so that's fine. Might even do something more like that and bring that down. Bring this foot in a little bit, okay. Little bend there. Cool, arc, right? Outside edge, good. Just for the swing of the foot, if you will. Now I do want because we're going downward, I do want to kind of squish the head a little bit. Doesn't have to be crazy, but okay, that's fine. And I'll bring that as well inward. You bring the whole thing down a bit. Here we go. That's nice. Okay. Now we're gonna just switch off. I think we already kind of did this one, so I'm not too concerned. Although I wouldn't mind rotating that. So now we're actually touching the ground with that shoe. We're about to push off with it, so I wanted to make sure that it was actually touching in some capacity. There we go. A little bit of an arc situation, but not entirely. Alright, cool. Even do that and bring it back down again. There we go. Okay. I'm pretty satisfied with that. And remember, you only have to really do one thing at a time, right? We don't need to worry too much about making. All we have to do is get this leg. What I'm trying to say is get this leg over here to this side and this one over to that side. That is it. So in this regard, I am going to actually just bring this foot down because I'm just kind of matching I'm in that middle frame here. I'm just matching the middle frame a bit, and you can notice that some of the onion skinning is kind of on top and also below. That's just because we're in the middle frame. So here I will actually just lower that slightly, but not too much. Lower that a little bit. Get that to kind of squish about a little bit, and there we go. Actually, let me rotate that a little bit. There we are. Cool. Very nice. Yeah, I don't mind that. That's nice. Might be nice if this was actually pushing forward more, just because we're lunging forward, right? So make sure that there's less back here and more up front, like that nose, right? Perhaps maybe the body goes forward, but not so much the actual top. Okay. And now we'll just grab the in-between of this little guy here. Just gonna do that, okay. The in-between for here would be actually something more like that. Trying to figure out, there we are. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, we didn't really move this too much actually, so that's perfectly fine. That'll be, maybe plop that right there. This looks okay. Yep. All right. Cool. That's fine. That's pretty clean. There's no strange anomalies going on there. This foot is not going down though, so let's make sure that that's actually happening. It has to go down. I mean, it's this is the thing that should be kind of reaching out and landing on the ground here. There we are. Let's get the onion skin on. Okay, cool. Yeah, we are on that last one there, so it makes sense that this would be. Okay, so now we're arching this way, which isn't bad. It's just, it's funny. Let me see how far we are here. Okay, that's what's going on. It's more like it. And that frame in between this one, I have to just bring him in a little bit. I want the foot to actually hit the ground with a little bit more of a squish and a less of a flat sort of. I want it to actually go squish a little bit, right? So I have a little bit more speed here to here, a little bit less speed here, and I have created it in such a way that yeah, it's arcing inward to kind of make it a little bit smaller actually, which should give us that little tiny hint of a stretch in that way. Now that we've changed that, we have some issue with this foot, this actual rig here. There we go, it makes a lot more sense. See the overlap there? I just want to fix that. It's not a big deal really, but just fix that like so. Cool. There we are. Press F5 twice. F5, where are you? F5, there you are. One, two. Now that we have both feet planted, I want to actually bring one of these to where I need it to be, which is starting to plant the foot down and moving it in this way. Might even go as far as just, there we go. And then I'll actually go here. At this point, this should be all the way up. And in that motion there. A little sneaky approach here with the little sneaker, literal sneaker. Cool. That's pretty good. And then we'll end up actually zipping this leg all the way where we need it. So I might actually I'll get this going here. This is the in-between frame. I just selected in between those two frames, and now I'll actually go ahead and start to animate. Not too difficult. I just, all I really need to do is just zip this up a little bit. Maybe bring, where am I going? Bring that down perhaps slightly. Yeah. Just like that, little arc, right? Heel, heel, heel. Yeah. Lifting up off the ground. Back to layer 1 here. Now we have to just figure out where the in-between is for this. So it's starting to get a little bit goofy with all the onion going on here. If I'm slamming down on this right here, that means that I need something right in between. I'll probably just do a nice flat flat foot here. Maybe not completely flat, but I think that'll help us out here. So now we have a little bit of an arch, which is good. So bring that right there. Because when we get to this, boop, this one here, now we're going to be lifting off, right? So I'll take these. And now we'll do an F5. And actually, since our guy has landed, it might be good to just push his body down a wee bit as well. That could be really good. Why don't we do that? So, let's push that body down a little bit. Mainly just the head, a little forward motion and squish. There we go. That should do it. Oh, we'll squish there, that's good. Cool. And I have automatic key shots on, by the way. F5, F5 for this bottom here. And eventually what we'll do is we'll actually have the feet go all the way back, right? That's the end goal, at least, right? To sort of match this. We can actually copy that by holding down Alt, copy that frame, bring it down to something like 20 or something, right? But for now, I'm gonna stay right there. Bring the foot. I'm gonna start speeding it up a little bit since they're gripping the ground, so to speak. Start speeding up the actual locomotion. Looks good. Keeping it simple, remember. Not doing anything fancy here. Just want to make sure I get points. Whoopsies. Get some points across, right? F5. Oh my God, what's going on here? Let's do this. No, I don't want to be on that one. I want to be on this one. Thank you. F5, F5, F5. Looks like I'm making frames for the other one too. That's okay though. That's what I wanted. Cool. Just have to do that. Bring that. If you double click on these, you can actually drag them, right? I'll just keep that in mind. Other than that, let's keep on going. So there's 2 again. Cool. I just want to be on this layer. Thank you very much. I think that's enough swing there. I don't mind that swing. I think we can actually just start going wild here and bring the foot, and just like with the other one, we want to kind of keep that locomotion, right? Of course, this, we're going to want to probably rotate it in such a way that it's not interfering with that. Hold on. Let's go back. Right. Keep that like, oh, it's still twisting. Okay. actually make some pins here. And here. Just to kind of lock it in place, because this is really killing me. You can constrain certain areas by doing that. It's kind of a little trick you can play around with. Notice how it's kind of constrained now. All right, good. And I just made that red, right? That was important for kind of keeping everything, keeping those dots separate and all that. All right, cool. So this is looking a little bit better now. Aside from that, of course. Bring that in. And this is getting a little bit janky. Let me just back it up. I'm actually going to get rid of... I'm going to do this a different way. So sometimes you don't need all the pins, right? So let's say that technique, sometimes it does work, sometimes it's useful. Right there, it didn't really work out too good. So we're going to use just the transform tool. And we're just going to rotate it around. And we're just going to place it a little bit up here. And this is literally going to be a sort of crossing point, right? So we're going to have to now go into this little guy. Bring that out here. While maintaining to just rotate that. I'll place that there, and then I'm going to back it up. There we go. So we have a little bit of movement here. There we go. I'll actually bring this up a little bit. Still gonna mess around with that. Actually, I'll bring that like that. Put this here. I'll bring that down a little bit. And there we go. Okay. Cool. This. Just want that layer. I don't want that layer, I just want this layer. So this one, we are going to indeed have, because he's pushing off of the ground now. Just bring it all back. Not all the way back, but close, right? That's fine. And now with that one, I am also going to just that a little bit. And I'll actually rotate this. So that's Whoops. Oh boy. put this here, and then we'll rotate a different way here. Hard, soft, let's see, mesh envelope. There we go. I'm gonna freeze this joint because it's killing me. Freeze the joint. Mesh. Da, da, da. Oh, whoops. Okay. There we go. Freeze that. I'll just bring this down to here. Can't freeze it because it's a like if I broke that apart, this one I can unfreeze. Now I might be able to. Problem is this is like kind of a made the mistake of creating a sort of root joint right there. Not the best thing. So it has created some problems. I'm just gonna make another joint to kind of make up for it. There we are. It's much better. Cool. Do that. And now I want to do another joint here. That's actually good because I need it to stretch anyways, so this is working out. Cool. Very good. Yeah, and we're rotating, right? We're actually getting some kind of action with this foot. So let's get the in-between. This is the in-between phase. My range I'm gonna adjust because I'm just seeing too much right now. Cool. Bring it in. I don't mind the squish, I think it's funny. Okay, cool. This one, I have touching here. Perfect. Let's see what we got. I'll do this. I might have to clean some stuff up. Yeah, it looks like I have to clean some of this up. That's fine. Now, this could be done by moving it precisely, but I'm not going to do that. That would be insane. Instead, what I'll do is I'll actually... Oh, we could go to this layer and see what we can do to this. Just by moving it up a little bit, we could see what happens with that. Still a little bit iffy. Yeah, just got to get rid of that little bump there. I'm going to go ahead and get that paintbrush out, but I'm actually just going to... Boop. Oh, whoops, not in that layer. Okay. Oh, wait, wrong layer. There we go. Thank you. Maybe that was the right layer. Nope. Probably can't do much with the paints, seeing as we may still be on some kind of time, some kind of pin of sorts with the asset warp tool. Let me just see what's going on here. do this and just a little bit goofy, but it does work. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to adjust this. So yeah, a little bit of a sketchy one, but it's working out in some sense. He's getting all squishy and wonky here. Let's say that, you know, obviously with the walk cycle, there's just so much, you know, it would take so much more time, right? I'm going to skip ahead. You basically get the gist of how to go about creating for this type of scenario. You would then go ahead and, you know, I would clean up all this. I mean, if you have, you know, if you have things like I have in the demo, I underestimated how much time it would take to actually make this move, right? Another 20 minutes, I'd probably have it wrapped up, right? Like, it's no problem. It's just that I don't want to waste your time by just animating. So I'm going to skip ahead. And let's just end at, let's just do this. Let's just, let me actually just, I'll just get rid of that. We don't need it, right? Just cut that out. Cut it. Clear them. Clear. And I'm just dragging with the mouse, basically. Oops. And then right clicking. And I'm going to remove them. There we go. I will also remove this frame. There you go. Cool. Cool. Stepping down. Stepping down is what that one's doing. Alright. And let's do this. Squeeze it. Just making a new layer for the heck of it. Just to cover up all these boo-boos here. These strange boo-boos. There we are. Nice. Not gonna worry about it being perfect. Let's just move on, right? Alright, cool. So, what is next? So now that we have this, and he's mid-air because he's about to put that foot forward and this foot back, right? I'm alright with that. Very good. Here's my properties for my tools. Where are my tools? Tools. Object, frame, tools. There we go. And I want to click that because I want to just make that look nice, at least somewhat. Make the alien guy's buttocks look at least somewhat presentable here, right? Alright, that's good. Make sure. So these are the edits I would have to do like throughout just to make it, you know, decent, and it would just take time. This is why I'm only gonna kind of do this and then move on, because it's a little bit too much. Cool. Good enough for now. So I'm gonna save my work because I haven't done that yet, and you have to do that. It's important. So save your work, RET stuff, 119, tutorial videos. I will call this Slopper. That's right, I called it Slopper. All right, cool. Now, if I want to export this to an animated GIF, that might be wise because I'm going to go over to the PISKEL app. What the heck is the PISKEL app, you may ask? The PISKEL app is actually an app that helps make GIFs into Sprite sheets. And it is indeed a web app. They used to have a desktop app, but it has been sort of, I always have to adjust this window. It's kind of ridiculous. All right, there we go. Used to be a desktop app. Now it is not. I want it to be transparent, and I don't really want all that stuff. I think that's kind of nasty. All these little doohickeys all around, all these pixels. Get them out of here, right? What do we do? Well, no dither may help. You want to be careful with this one. I would just make it more like 5, perhaps. I don't want a matte. So if you get these sort of weird dark spots all around your, it's most likely due to, like if I do that, all of a sudden they're going to be these black sort of outlines, right? Just don't even bother with a matte. Just turn it off. Okay. 512 by 512, 100%. Art optimized is always nice. Not exactly the most optimized overall, but pretty good, right? 256 on color range. That's might be more than we actually need. If it's for a game, 128 might be just fine, right? Or even 32. Yes, it is. So don't worry about going all the way up to 256. Yeah, if you want to stretch it, go to 64. That's always nice. Cool. So we can actually just hit preview. We should get a sort of HTML. Here we go. So I did stop short, remember. However, just because I stopped short doesn't mean that I didn't get a somewhat successful walk cycle. Like this works. I'm not too disappointed with this. Obviously, it's not perfect, but at the end of the day, if you can get the illusion of a loop, that's what really matters. If you can get the illusion of a foot moving forward after another, that's what really matters. In most cases, that's probably what I actually want you to do that, right? However, make it cleaner than what I did here, right? As much as you can. Although this was a successful one, it's not the cleanest. Take your time with it, clean up your work, make it nice, make sure that it, actually stands out in some semblance of richness and effort. Let's get out of that. Very good. I'm gonna save this because I'm happy with it. I want to actually, that's interesting. Yeah, that might be good. So we're working with Unity, right? So notice that I actually made it convert to sRGB. Unity actually uses sRGB, so I would use that. If you forget, that's all right. It'll be converted upon import, but there are some instances where you may get some anomalies if it isn't kind of placed in or the sort of pre-production pipeline like we are right now. Save your work. And I have about, I want to just take 5 more minutes, go to the PISKEL app and just make a sort of sprite sheet out of this GIF, right? We'll call it Slopper still. We're going to also put it in that tutorial videos folder. Save. We'll minimize this. We're going to go into here. And I'm just going to find the PISKEL app. So, oh yeah. So this is the other thing I wanted to show you. I actually put the link up. This guy is actually fantastic. So, Chris, Chris's tutorials. I'm not subscribed to him, but he's definitely a good one. Obviously, I have my own tutorials, but I like to put in these other instructors just as a sort of supplemental education benefit. You know, you pay a lot to go to RIT, so I like to do the sort of search for you for some, and just point to some other good instructors. So I have a video that does basically what he does, but um, his video was made for, you know, for influencing for YouTube. So, you know, it's a little bit cleaner. So if you prefer, feel free to peruse his, you know, his video content. But obviously, I have my own, hence why you are here. So I'm just gonna exit out of that. And for this, let's see, I want to go to. I'm gonna go to PISKEL. So I made the terrible mistake of not going to it first. There we go. So here we are, the PISKEL web app, everybody. How the heck does this work? Well, you have an import folder, you have an export area, you have a save area that will save to your gallery if you so choose, or export as a file. And you have a resize. So let's say, and I actually helped a student out the other day with this. Let's say your roommate tells you, oh, your sprites should only be like 2 pixels, right? And you think he's like this genius, or they are this genius, right? So you're gonna listen to them, right? And then you come into class, you say, oh my God, like I only have a 2 pixel sprite, but I want it to look bigger, blah, blah, blah. It's all right, Jimmy, I got your back. That's what resize is for. It is fantastic. You can resize things. And it uses pixels to fill in for other pixels that aren't there. That's pretty sick. Pretty sick. Don't worry about this. We can double check it. Yeah, we're good. This is just like mainly like, oh, what do you want your grid color to be? Do you want it to be this color, or do you want it to be this? I like this. I like my grid spacing to be kind of 4 or 2. I like the grid size to be the biggest. You can actually enable the grid if you want. I'm just chilling in this sort of background mode, right? Change this to 12. My Wacom is spazzing out. There we go. Hex is a fine color format. We are dealing with RGB, but it'll translate, so it's fine. Let's get out of that, and I just clicked out of the window to exit it. Let's import some stuff. So we actually want to browse our stuff from the computer. In this case, we are looking at RIT stuff, and we are going to 119 tutorial videos. Slopper, open up. Look at that slopper creep, oh yeah. Look at that slopper creep, oh. That's what's going on right now, he's creeping. Okay, bring it in. So you have a couple things you can do here. You can do a frame size 512 by 512. Import it as a freaking sprite sheet. And let me tell you, that's kind of what I want to do. So let's do that. Import as a sprite sheet. For right now, just leave this. We can always change it. So combine with your sprites, 7 frames. Combine with my sprite. I think it thinks that I actually have an actual sprite going on or something. Okay, just replace. Yeah, I don't have anything in there, so that makes sense. Okay. Alright, you can actually see it up here. Look, we even have onion skins going on. That's nice. Cool. That is exactly what I wanted. Well, we're done. Okay, now what do we gotta do? So that's it. That's all you gotta do. Save offline in browser. Nah, I don't want to do that. Export. Let's go to export. 3 columns, 3 rows. because it's a small one, I actually don't mind if this is more like 7. And I'm gonna go ahead and just see what that looks like before I put it, before I tell you what to do with it. So good on that, okay. Sprite sheet, file export. Beep, boop. And it is indeed a PNG, so let's open it up. Let's make sure we're good. And it is looking frosty fire, everybody. It is looking frosty fire. Here it is. Woo-wee. Cool, so that's working out good. Then we're just gonna beep, 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 beep. Go ahead and bring that into Unity. Man, I should have left my actual document up. My Unity project that I had up, just so I could pop it in, but it is indeed a little bit late, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording here. I think that was a successful tutorial. I do have another tutorial that already goes over what to do once you have a sprite sheet, right? So now that we have a PNG that we've exported, we can now sit back and relax and maybe watch the other thing that instead of Animate used Photoshop, right? So just skip past the Photoshop stuff and go right into the Unity stuff. It's a little bit complicated, but if you follow along there, you'll be fine. I'm gonna try and get all that sorted out with timestamps for you as well, so we'll just make it as convenient as possible. Thank you for following along with this lovely week 8 tutorial on sprite sheet walk cycle creation. Enjoy the evening or day or morning or whatever it is. Perhaps you're in a timeless universe, but keep it real. Enjoy and have fun.